Windows play an important part in all kinds of architectures. Inviting natural light and wind indoor, it connects the inside and the outside. Throughout the ages, the device of the window still remains as a framed glass panel. What gives the window so much magic was the screen, which is a cover that can be manipulated to control our exposure to the outside. They constantly change the way we perceive the other side through the window. For example, through pulling open the curtain, we are embracing the first ray of bright sunlight. Peeking through the louver blinds feels secretive, while pulling the cords reveals the outside to us slowly from the bottom up. Window shades also add theatrical qualities to a window. In this painting, they subtly pique our interest into the hidden part of the story. Today, due to the close proximity of high-rise buildings in the city, revealing the transparent glass panels becomes a privacy concern. The notion of window screens becomes block-out blinds that shelters us from the outside. The magic of the window is gradually lost. Therefore, I chose to focus on the window screen to reimagine the experiences around and reconnect ourselves to the window. Through research, I realized that most of the window covering solutions in the market offer a purely visual and binary adjustment, which means they have distinct states of open or closed, covered or not covered. On the other hand, art installations and smart architecture facades create mesmerizing visual experiences. However, they are usually integrated to the architecture itself and require extensive maintenance. It is difficult for them to be translated to another context. I wondered whether there will be a simpler solution that can be implemented and adjusted easily, yet at the same time creates a unique experience to draw people back to the windows. With that goal in mind, I decided to take a hands-on approach, generate and prototype ideas in an expansive manner, with inspirations taken from numerous observations and concepts. I widely explored materials and effects that create interesting visual experiences with the window screen, triggered by various means of interaction, such as through making the nature an active user of the screen, inviting the user to open the blinds by poking, layering screen panels to alter the level of transparency and visibility, transforming the covering surface with origami structures, introducing depth through tessellating small cone units. I explored interesting materials such as privacy screen filter and dichroic films, which produce change in opacity and reflection, and polarizing films, which change opacity according to the direction they overlap to create patterns and colors through rotation, as well as the effect of distortion. Analyzing them based on the overall experiences of the effects created, my exploration has led me to the following insights. Firstly, to fulfill the utility of a window screen, it should at least offer the option to be closed and open, just like how the materials here can alter from fully opaque to almost transparent. Secondly, an intermediate state between fully open and closed makes the change in coverage interesting. For example, this group of experiments fragmented the entire window area to create various states of half-open through partial coverage. Lastly, a novel window screen experience involves interesting ways of interaction. However, it should not be contriving, such as forcing the user to poke it open. The adjustments should still be effortless. Nonetheless, I was still most intrigued by the kirigami patterns as they transform a flat surface into a three-dimensional one. They also fulfill the other two criteria, the collapsibility and various states between closed and open. Subsequently, I focused on cuts that can be simply pulled open effortlessly. I compared the patterns based on their elasticity and selected patterns based on the sizes and shapes of the openings, and further explored a variety of materials and ways of cutting to achieve the optimal visual effect. Letting the view coming through the pattern in context reveals that the addition of another colored material or excessive layering can be distracting. Finally, the exploration gave rise to three distinct types of cutting and pleating methods that create most ideal visual effects while stretched open. The base material I chose is polypropylene nonwoven fabric, which is a low-cost, lightweight material with properties similar to both fabric and paper, making it stiff enough to take shape and at the same time dust-resistant. In fact, companies like IKEA is using this material to produce their lower-end window shading products. Firstly, the alternate straight cut combined with pleating pattern creates a wavy three-dimensional structure with almond-shaped openings, which offers an aesthetically pleasing way to achieve sunlight regulation. Next, the slanted cut pattern creates small elongated diagonal openings that resemble sleeves when pulled. The different levels of coverage, when viewed from different angles, offer possibilities for directional blinding. Lastly, the interlocking cut can be pulled open downwards to create circular openings. It also can collapse fully horizontally. Its versatility makes it a good privacy shade. Those patterns present a few key advantages compared with conventional blind solutions. Firstly, the delicate fabric patterns created decorate the interior with natural light and shadow. Through segmenting the entire window area into many smaller openings, they break up the view and achieve a sense of privacy without the need to compromise the lighting. Not having a full opaque panel also means that the shades can work even when the windows are open. With wind coming in through smaller openings, there is no need to worry about the whole panel being blown away. Next up, to translate the design pattern into a fully functional window shading solution, I looked at how different conventional blinds work and how I can alter them to optimize the unique properties of my own designs. For the first pattern, the wavy straight cut, I first combined it with a cellular blind system where one pulls downwards to open it up. The bottom bar is then secured to the window sill magnetically. However, the openings are uneven due to the heavier weight acting on the top part. The sides also curve in due to tension. To mitigate that problem, I used cords to secure every layer, but that makes the production more complicated. Switching it to the horizontal direction allows the patterns to open up more uniformly with greater visual variances from different angles. Securing the shades from three sides also ensures that it functions in windy environments. To allow the attaching spots to shift up and down to keep its uniform curvature, I used cords and rings to let them slide freely. Moving on to the second leaf-like slanted cut. In order to control the sizes of the opening that reveals the information, I created various mechanisms such as wooden extendable arm, attaching elastic bands from the side, as well as zigzag rotational axes. However, they lack the flexibility to fully collapse. I move on to explore systems that can be collapsed easily, as well as making it interchangeable with a full coverage mode, but the bars are still very bulky. Revisiting the key properties of the slanted cut pattern, which is to provide directional blinding, I simplified the mechanism to a cord and pulley system that potentially allows the shades to be installed in both vertical and horizontal directions according to the need of the user. Lastly, the circular interlocking cuts. In order to secure the flaps together at a fully covered state, I tried out various methods such as small magnetic attachments and using elastic materials which needs no individual attachments, opening up the entire sheet easily. On top of that, through a specially designed backing layer with adhesive interfacing material, a fuller coverage is achieved without disrupting the pleat's natural affordance to collapse and reveal a clear window space. Subsequently, the elastic bands are connected to a sturdy wooden rod for easy pulling. The lower rod will be attached to a pair of hooks that secure it in place to retain the level of openness preferred. Inspired by Borrelite Brothers' ready-made curtains, I further simplified the system of the 3 screens to involve the users in the process of making. The customizable systems ensure that the series of products can fit any window. Costs are also taken into consideration, where the mechanisms only consist of parts made of maple wood, steel, and injection molded plastic. The end product of my exploration and investigation is a series of 3 window shades that can be used both when the window is closed and open, with different levels of privacy achieved. The combination of polypropylene fabric material and paper interfacing offers a light and elegant appearance. With simple and original hanging systems and easily replaceable fabrics, they allow easy customizations to fit every window. The parts can be easily assembled in a few steps. Upon measuring the windows and cutting the fabric materials, users then mount the supporting fixtures on the wall. Cords or rods are then attached to the fixtures before hooking the fabrics onto the frameworks. The first model, Wave, is a semi-open cover that creates almond-shaped openings. It is pulled open to create a unique layered structure that breaks up the view elegantly. The sides are easily attached to the cord system, creating dynamic visual experiences from different angles. The second model, Leaf, restricts the view from certain directions. With a lightweight mechanism, users can install it in the direction preferred. Controlled by a pulley system, it can be effortlessly pulled open or closed with the cars at the side. With the chosen angle, it effectively blocks out the view from the streets at the bottom or reduces the unwanted peaking from places with heavy one-directional traffic flow. The last model, Moon, is a set of horizontal and vertical blinds that provides various states between fully open and closed. When pulled horizontally, it covers the entire window surface with full opacity. Pulling the rods downwards then activates the individual openings that creates a state of half open according to the preference of the user. This spectrum of shades focus on the evolving needs of the users in modern contexts, bringing a sense of connectedness without compromising on our need for private space. Through those designs, I wish to reimagine the window screen's role in today's living spaces so that they not only shield, but at the same time mediate a dialogue between the occupants and the outside environment. Thank you.